I'm telling you, I am so worked up today, guys. I wasn't gonna read on Miss Nancy again this quickly. Can you see me? I have my husband's chair here, like if he's gonna come. Anyways, I wasn't gonna read on her right away. What's that again now? Today is Sunday, March the 22nd. In 2 days, it is gonna be my mom's birthday. And I still say it is gonna be. What in the heck are they doing? Let me go see. I think somebody is using their weed whacker to chop the brush behind the fence, because we own the alley, right? We meaning us on this side, not them on that side. We own the alley and we have to keep the brush clear, but our brush is clear, so we're good. Anyways, as I was saying, I used to say it would have been my mom's birthday because she passed away 10 years ago. It's still her birthday. I feel like you're still assigned to that birthday, right? Yeah, March 24th. And my sister's son, mom died when he was 8, and he's gonna be 18 on March 24th. They share the same birthday, wouldn't you know? So anyways, I wasn't gonna read on Miss Nancy this quickly, and I'm not reading on her directly. I'm gonna read on her indirectly, because I got really upset last night after I watched I couldn't watch the whole thing, some of that puff piece that they did on the whole case, So the TV station that Savannah used to work for in Tucson, K something, can't remember the name of it. They did a whole thing to update everybody on the case, right? But it was pretty much a puff piece. They showed that they had a candlelit something at some church, some Catholic or Anglican church, for Miss Nancy. They didn't even tell the public about this. It was just that one little church, so they could go in there and film and keep things under control. Meanwhile, the streamers are, doing candlelit stuff with candles that use battery, of course. At the banner, at the same TV station, there's a big banner up saying "Bring her home." They're doing their candlelit stuff there. People online just trying to get together to have prayer sessions, just doing everything for Miss Nancy, right? And the whole time they had a candlelit ceremony in a church where it looked kind of empty. Then they interviewed a couple of the churchgoers. They interviewed somebody in front of the house saying that was a neighbor. But I remember one day when JLR and them were there, the streamer that I watch, some people showed up. And I don't remember where they showed up from. If it was from some church or the TV station, or I want to say that it was from NBC or something. And they showed up. And then when Savannah and Tommaso and Annie went and laid down the sunflowers at the flower memorial for the mom, they got that snippet. And in the thing, in the puff piece, they lied and said that they went back to the scene and they talked with the neighbors and thanked the neighbors for everything they did. They didn't even thank the reporters. I feel like they let Brian Enton know and Fox Digital know that they were gonna come, and they chased off all the streamers, right? And then the puff piece turned into a hit job on the streamers. Oh, I got so mad, man. I got so mad, because if it weren't for our little streamers over there, we wouldn't really know the truth. So I was telling my husband about it last night when I went to bed. I said, oh, that thing pissed me off. I said I had to turn it off because JLR was running. And by the way, JLR, he has something came out about him. I don't believe it. I'm going to reserve judgment to see if he gets charged, if he gets tried, convicted, all that stuff. In the meanwhile, I'm not going to say anything else on it, but I still like him. Okay? I still like him because the girl that put the charges up on him, she did some lying stuff when she was young, like 17. She was lying about some pregnancy against that one politician, Roy Moore. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. What is wrong with these people? So, man, Remind me not to record on the weekends anymore. I don't like to record in the room because it's so dark in there and I have to put on a lot of light. And I've noticed that a lot of people who are on TV, I've been watching those things. Have you been watching those things, guys? That they bring where they show you then and now with these people on these TV shows. And when you go, majority of them are dead and they all died in their 60s. 62, 63. I said, what? I'm about to turn 60. Do I not have a whole lot of time? What the hell? No, I ain't watching those no more. So anyways, I'm going to pull a Celtic cross and I'm going to ask the question, does the family know something? Oh, this wants to come so bad. So we're going to put that where? It came second, so we're going to put him as the challenge. Do they know something about what happened to their mom? For example, that 84-year-old lady that they helicoptered to the hospital a few days after Miss Nancy went missing. Was that Miss Nancy? And they took her to the hospital, so that meant she was still alive. Is she still alive when they took her there? Do they have her safe somewhere? Why do we keep getting the Eight of Swords, right? So do they know something? Either way, if she's unalive or alive, do they know? Do they know who did this? Do they know what happened to her? Because I saw some reports, you know, JLR have people call in. And I saw somebody call in and said that lady had somebody living with her. Some strange name lady. Younger person living with her a couple years ago. So she had a roommate? Or she took on tenants? And why does she have a second mortgage? We asked this before, right? If all this is true, and she took out $70,000 on the house, $70,000 plural on the house, then why did they not just do it as a refi and let her have one mortgage? And who lends an old lady that kind of money when they're already in their 70s? Because she got the money when she was in her 70s. And for the person who came at me, I only have 14 subscribers right here. And one of you all already came for me saying, don't call her an old lady, have some respect. She is an old lady. She's 84 years old. My dad is going to be 83 on May the 4th, and he is an old man. It's not meant as a disrespect. When you turn 70, nobody want to lend you money anymore. They figure you're on the end of your life and you're not going to be able to pay back that loan. So who lent this lady this money? Was it a HELOC? Are we back to this thing where maybe she got scammed out of the HELOC for home repair? So the signifier is the world. Completion, fulfillment, travel. So completion, right? It's a fate accomplished, meaning she's gone. You know, I'm still back and forth if she's alive or not alive, right? Right? I'm still back and forth with this. And I want her to be alive so bad that I think I'm skewing these cards. Am I that powerful? Do I have that much? Oh, by the way, I had another vision. Wait, I'll tell you the. You know, I'm calling those things loosely vision because I don't know what they are. It could just be my brain overworked and tired and broke, okay? So the world, fulfillment, travel. Remember one time we did Lenormand and we got the ship when we asked if she was far away from the house? Like they took her someplace else. I still don't feel like it's Mexico, like the kids call it Old Mexico. I still don't think it's Old Mexico. It might be New Mexico that they took her to. And this is the one that wanted to come out. Ambition, victory, willpower, movement. So there's movement, but this always means slow movement. The Chariot is slow movement. Because if you notice those sphinxes that are there pulling that truck, they're not moving, they're laying down. They're laying down on the job. And even with cards where people put the horses are not moving either. So this is a slow movement, right? And what's the question again? Do they know something? The foundation of it all is balancing, multitasking, juggling. They juggling their lives. This is starting to feel a lot like the John Benet Ramsey case. You know, they always suspected the ma. Then one spell they suspected the pa. The poor lady got breast cancer and died. And the truth never came out about who unalived her beautiful daughter. I know they're saying it's tied to the epilepsy case because you could see her in a photo and in the background there was Ghislaine. I don't know, but people always suspected the brother, her brother, John Benet's brother. Nobody ever proved it. Walking away from what they've walked away. The family has definitely walked away. You're going to let this TV station put up this whole puff piece. This didn't tell us nothing new. You know what? I'm starting to like the sheriff more and more now. Because at least when the sheriff came out yesterday and 2 days ago and did an interview on the radio station, They said, what do you want to tell the kidnapper? And he says, drop her off. Take her to a hospital. Just drop her off. So that means he still thinks she's alive. The family thinks she's unalive, or they know. They know she's unalive, or they got her safe somewhere. I'm going back to Witsec. She's in Witsec. What's the initial for that thing? WITSEC? What is that? Witness something? So she's in Witsec. The overarching energy is the hermit, solitude, inner journey, introspection. Locked away, right? Locked away. Hermit, that's the overarching energy. The Knight of Swords, ambitions, assertive, driven to succeed. I feel like the Knight of Swords is the brother, Cameron. You know, he's a whole fighter pilot, right? Fighter jet pilot or whatever. The Lovers, partnership, harmony, choices, desire. This is a couple. A man and a woman who's together that did this. This is a couple. That's not just like a friendship with like two women or two men. This is a married couple. That's internally. Externally is the King of Pentacles, success, wealth, generosity. This got to do about money. The King of... We sure Trump don't have something to do with this, because the King of Pentacles, when card readers are reading, they say that's Trump. The Seven of Wands is perseverance. This is the hopes and fears, defense, standing strong. They acting like they standing strong, but this family is full of secrets. They're full of oh, look, yeah. The outcome, secrets again. They know something we don't know. That's my answer right there. They know something we don't know. The Star, hope, healing, guidance. Did we get that in yesterday reading? Hope, healing, guidance, and inspiration. They know. They know where their mom is. That's my intuition. Before I gather up the cards, let me tell you about my so-called vision. And I'm saying so-called vision because I don't know what these things are. Like I said, it could just be my tired brain. I was walking with Joe and I was talking to him. We didn't take the puppy. And we just went to go buy his lottery, and then we took the long way. And so it was hot. He was pouring in sweat. And I'm like, pray with me for Miss Nancy. When two or more are gathered in his name, right? And I started to bring down heaven, man. I really got into the nitty gritty. And I said, God, whatever you're going to do for Miss Nancy, do it now before the streamers walk away. I said the same prayer for my mom when she was laid up in the hospital bed and she was on her way to the other side, and just we didn't know what day. And I was her champion, whispering in her ear, Mommy, fight, fight, Mommy, fight. Sometimes I wish that I had told her, Mom, if you have to leave, I'll be okay. But I didn't, that was not my position. That was not my job amongst my family members. My job was to tell her to fight, okay? And so I got in the elevator with Joe. I'm all over the place with this story. I put this on so I could stop squinting for a while. I got in the elevator with Joe, and there was no one in the elevator that day, and that never happened at that big hospital. It was always loaded. We could barely fit in, right, when we were leaving. And it was just me and him. And I said, Joe, do you think I'm giving up or being weak if I say this? And he says, what? Say it, babe. And I said, God, whatever you're going to do for my mom, do it now while her brother and her son are still here, because they have to go back home. My uncle, my mom's youngest brother, and my brother, my older brother, my brother came from Florida, my uncle came from Belize, and they were already here like a week and a half, going on 2 weeks. My mom had a best friend that was here too, but she could stay as long as she wanted to. Those two had to go back to their jobs. And the next day my mom passed. And sometimes I feel like my mouth did it, you know? So I said that for Miss Nancy on the walk, and I said, God, whatever you're gonna do for Miss Nancy, do it now before the streamers walk away from this story and move on to another hot story. Because I feel like only the streamers are keeping this story in the public. Can you tell me why the police never did a grid search? Usually when people go missing, they'll gather volunteers. I mean, they gathered a whole bunch of volunteers when Elizabeth Smart went missing. And they went out there and they found out and they searched and they searched. And they even look in the crowd of searchers to see if the perp is in the... You know what I mean? They did nothing. Nothing for this lady. They know something we don't know. Okay? So when I said that, the minute I said that, I closed my eyes. Real briefly. I mean like a second. Because I can't close my eyes more than that and walk. I'm going to trip and bust my face. And I saw a flash. and it was one of those ghost bikes. Have you ever seen those ghost bikes over town? I don't know if they just do it in California, or maybe they just do it on the west part of the country, you know, but they have those white bikes that they paint. They paint them white, all white, right through, tires, everything white. And they put it at a location where a cyclist lost their lives, got hit by a car or whatever, and they'll put it at that spot. And you see them all over the place, right? And I saw one of those ghost bikes, one of those white ghost bikes, and I told Joe, I said, I had another vision just now, Joe. And my family is indulging me with these vision things, right? And he said, well, what did you see? And I said, I saw one of those white ghost bikes, you know, like, you know, what they put on places. And I came back home and I told the kids right away, and the kids say, well, is she here in California, Mom? Because you just see them a lot in California. So I said, they might be all over. So I searched to see if they're in Tucson. And there's several locations that they have those ghost bikes in Tucson, but I couldn't find a location because I'm not really good at searching for things on the internet, because the minute it takes me into a different website that I'm afraid of, I kind of back out because I don't want to get, you know, what do you call the thing, hacked or whatever, get a virus. But they do have them in Tucson. So when I went to bed last night, I asked God to show me a little bit. No, it's not when I went to bed. It's when I woke up in the morning. I asked God to show me again what He wants me to see about the ghost bike. Maybe show me a street sign, show me something, right? So I closed my eyes and I took a deep breath, and He showed me a lamppost. But it was one of those metal lampposts. It's not made from wood. And if the bike is facing east, the lamppost is on the west side of the bike, so it's on the back wheel, but right behind the back wheel. So like they put it up right in front of a lamppost, which I don't think they'll ever do, because the phone people and the electricity people, they need to climb those lampposts, right? But it was pretty close to the lamppost, the back wheel. And then down on the ground, I saw a half of a necklace. Because when I'm having these so-called visions, I'm looking like, show me, what do you want me to see, right? And the necklace was, it was chain. I don't think it was gold, you know, but it was chain, and then it was a little charm, and then chain. So it was like 4 charms and chain in between. And it was just half of a little, like a kid's necklace, like a little girl's necklace. Very delicate. And it wasn't like this kind of chain that's so small. It had bigger holes. Oh, you like my little clover? My daughter brought this for me all the way from Ireland. So the chain was of cats. And I know Miss Nancy had a dog, but it was of little cats. You know how they have it's like the outline of the cat, but the back is arched, right? And a friend of mine who watches, right when Miss Nancy went missing, she went to walk her dog, and she picked up a coffee cup, you know, to put the poop. She didn't take a bag. And the cup said Savannah G. We always thought that was weird because she's in a different state entirely, and I don't want to say the state. So the color of the cat, I brought this chain because this is the closest thing I can get to the color. It didn't have any green in it, but it had yellow, pink, and blue. But you see how that color is kind of like, what do you call it? How it's kind of blended like that? I don't know if you guys can see this. I might have to show it closer. Hey, Joe, can you come show this close to the camera for me? Thank you, baby, please. Please and thank you. So it's not like beaded chain like this. But see how the color kind of blends, and it was pink, yellow, and blue for the cat. Just show the front of the necklace right close to the camera for me, the charm. Thank you, baby. You're being silly, right?
That?
I don't know if it's... Can
you want to show this?
Yeah, but can you look while you're doing it to make sure it's not blurry? Okay, I see it. So you see how it's kind of... What do you call it, Joe, in the paint? How it's kind of... Joe, right. How the paint kind of blend like that. What do you call that in art?
Blend.
Did the thing work? Joe, were you using a tool in the front of the yard?
Hey.
Were you using a tool in the front of the yard like a weed whacker?
No.
Man, somebody was using it. But every time I want to read my card, the neighbors don't work with me. The hell? Yeah, so it was cats. And the necklace was on the ground at the base of the lamppost. Don't know what it means. Don't even know if it's a real. Oh, did we see we didn't see what was hit. Oh, we did. The star. So I think they know something we don't know, and I hope it's something good, like Miss Nancy's alive, because this is stupid. That puff piece was stupid. And about the guy that I'm watching, JLR, and all the charges that he has against him, I did pull 5 cards on him the other night because it really bothered me, because I like him. I think he's such a gentleman. But you know, I don't know him. I just started to watch him 50 days since Miss Nancy went missing, right? Today is the 22nd. February had 28 days plus 22. Oh yeah, 50 days. This is the day she coming home. Let's speak it. Speak it with me. She coming home today. Yeah, I really like JLR, but I only started to watch him when he went over there to cover Miss Nancy, and I got his channel from another guy that was streaming him, and he allowed the guy to stream his lives all day long. That guy just sits in his house, don't go out in the sun, has, you know, food, drink, bathroom right there, stream JLR's lives, and then call himself making a video last night talking about, is he exposed, question mark. The video only got 5,000 views. And he has like 300,000 subscribers, so people weren't with the ish. You know, don't do it. I don't do that to friends. If my friends get accused of something, I'm gonna wait. Silently, quietly, wait and see what the outcome is. I'm not gonna come out there and go, is he exposed? Is she exposed? I'm like, I've only been watching. He got there on the Friday after Miss Nancy went missing, so I've only been watching JLR for 45 days. But he's a gentleman that I like. He's in his late 40s. I like him. You know, so I'm not gonna say anything about what's going on and be the judge. I'm gonna wait. He's not even charged, right? So it's like, Anyways, I didn't like what the guy did. So what's the next question? I feel like there's more than one perpetrator. So the next question is one of them gonna cave? One out of whoever did it, if it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think it's 7. You know, when I read yesterday, I told you my four my 4 theories, and on one of them I had 7 people involved. I don't think it's 7. I don't even know if it has anything to do with the goth people. That's why I didn't even put that as one of my theories. Some people went out there to take pictures in front of our house, and the whole goth scene with Tomaso's band, yada. I don't think it has nothing to do with that. I don't think because you're goth or you listen to, you know, dark music and you write dark poetry, and what's the other thing that they're Wiccan. Where I don't think none of that makes you a bad person. And the way I understand Wiccan, and my friend Julie can explain, I think they're all about the light, right? Some of the churches are dark. Tell me foolishness. So I'm gonna pull one card. Joe's not here to pull the card, so I'm gonna pull it myself. And the question is, what was the question again? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to start writing down my questions. The question is, is one of them gonna cave? The perps. Thank you, Holy Ghost, for reminding me. So this is the underside. Evie, get over here. It's so nice out here, and she's trying to break the door down to go in. 2 of Pentacles, balancing, multitasking, juggling. Yeah, the people who did this, they're still trying to make a decision. This is about decision making. They're trying to decide. One of them wants to tell. There's a lady that keeps showing up in front of the streamers and talk about, she's not here, she's far away from here, and she's buried. I'm like, oh God, oh shit, we got 2 twos. The 2 of Pentacles, balancing, multitasking, juggling, and the 2 of Wands, planning, decisions, discovery, crossroads. Yeah, one of them is gonna cave. One of them is gonna cave soon. They can't take it. They're living with guilt. This whole family look like they're living with guilt, honestly. And it doesn't have to be the guilt of, oh, we did something to Ma, right? Because people are saying, you're watching Annie and Tommaso, look at the brother. So I say, oh my God, not Cameron. It could just be the guilt of, oh my God, why did we leave Mom unprotected? But you know, once you're in your place for that long and you've never had a break-in and never had any trouble, you start to feel safe in your place. You know what I mean? So my dad wants to live alone at 83. He has his right mind. He's getting more and more like mobility issues, and he has to go up and down a flight of stairs, which I think it's silly for him to live in Belize. Come back over here, right? But I can't tell him what to do. He won't cuss me out. So maybe Miss Nancy cussed them out too. Don't tell me what to do, girl. Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, so tell me what you think about these visions. keep putting quote unquote, I don't want to like knock it, but until I see what they correlate to, I'm not gonna know. Because even when I had the vision about the lamp with the leg and whatever, and it came up on that man's book, I don't think that man did it, right? Dr. Quinton, Dr. Q. But I think the Holy Ghost is trying to say you're on the right path. I'm trying to download some information into you. Pay attention, right? I told you guys before, my mom was born in call. She wasn't fully engulfed in the sac, in the amniotic sac. She had a piece of the sac over her head, and they had to get it off quickly after she came out. And in Belize, that means you are gifted in so many things, and in intuition and stuff like that. No, that was my mom. That's not me or my sister, but for some reason, we see the gift in each other. She doesn't know the powers that she has. She knows it to a degree, but sometimes she doubts herself, and I doubt myself too, you know? So that's why I started to do the cards just as a tool. That's just as a tool. You know what I want to do? Maybe I should wait for Mommy's birthday. But I'm going to ask her, Mommy, I'm going to pull one card. What do you want me to know with this one card? Mommy, can you hear me? Next time I record another show, I'm going to tell you a dream that I had about my mom shortly after she passed. And I don't, if I remember correctly, it wasn't like a dream, like I'm sleeping at night dream. It was like one of these vision type things. I asked the Holy Ghost to ask Mommy what she wants me to know, and I pulled one card only, and it's the Nine of Cups. Fulfillment, satisfaction, gratitude, luxury. She's letting me know that things are gonna be okay, guys, because sometimes it gets so rough financially that I get so troubled. Bye, guys.